Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. As usual, please like and subscribe if you like the content, and let's get into this. And we're back on virtually zero alien Tatooine. For example, this guy. He pushes his way to the front of the line. He's belligerent, and then Reva smokes him. That's the perfect alien in any Star Wars program, but it's a guy, because it's just a guy. They don't have the budget, I guess, for aliens. Reva is now hiding under a cloak, foreshadowing her turning good, but still making a show of herself to the locals. So you're like, why are you disguised when you're just obviously you're there? She confronts Owen, and then they cut the scene, and then Vader in a Star Destroyer shooting at Obi-Wan's ship, and the one filled with all the refugee plot props. They're trying to get their hyperdrive going, I guess. I just want you guys to know, like, I'm not going to go into super detail about this episode. It's so bad that my wife and I literally laughed out loud, like, multiple times at how bad this was and how cringy it was. So I'm just going to kind of give you the basics, and then it's going to be a bit of a rant because I can't believe how bad this show is. So anyways, then Obi-Wan and Leia have this little talk that it was actually kind of nice, and Obi-Wan reveals in a way that he could use something to not be scared, which to a kid in this context was nice. And with the kids all being scared and all that stuff. And Leia, of course, isn't scared at all because she's never scared. Which at this point, they are laying it on way too thick to believe that Leia is as, confident as she is as a little kid, as she was as an adult. And ultimately, that's a boring character arc. Like, she's basically the exact same as when she was Leia in the original trilogy. There's no change that you can see. And then Owen and Luke, whoever he is, are in town buying parts. And then Obi-Wan tells the crowd that he's surrendering so they can get away again, like for the third time or whatever it is. It's like an early 90s video game, where basically you're on the same level, except the next level is just a few more baddies and a different skin, and it's basically the same thing over and over again. Just the visuals are different. And then Owen and Beru discuss staying or going because Reva is after Luke, staying or going from their farm. And it's like, did anyone really think they wouldn't completely trample on the OT storyline? Like, did anyone really think that? And the farm was way too clean and shiny. It looked so fake. And they set up to defend the farm with a rifle. And then Obi-Wan and Leia talk because she's leaving, and he gives her a holster with a blaster and says, well, I can't give you a blaster, Leia. You're only 10. It's just so boring. And then they are trying to attach this adventure with Obi-Wan as shaping who she was in the original trilogy. But she clearly didn't know him personally in the original trilogy. And Leia didn't change from childhood to adulthood in this now. She's the same person. She didn't change in any interesting way as far as, the big stuff. She doesn't overcome anything. So it's just super boring. And then Obi-Wan talking to Qui-Gon with no answers, saying this ends today regardless, speaking about confronting Anakin, and none of this fits with the OT. Like, it's so silly. Like, it's so bad. And then a super cheap looking scene with the General Inquisitor who is somehow alive, and then Vader. I'm not even going to dignify the rest of this with a response, except Palpatine shutting down Vader's supposed obsession with killing Kenobi with a Zoom call. Like, literally, Palpatine, you need to not be obsessed with going after Obi-Wan. And then Vader's like, okay. And it's like, what was the point of all this? Like, what was the point of this? This whole show is stupid. It's pointless, and they even make it pointless with these things. Like, if Palpatine, why didn't he say this ages ago? Like, what, like, don't bother. Okay, I won't then. It's like, what? Like, where's the drama in this? And then, look, guys, Leia's fashion sense hasn't changed, her whole life either. They added that in as well, that she's exactly the same, and it's so boring. There's no interest. She's just always been the same. Yay. And then Qui-Gon shows up at the end of the episode, and is like, "You see me now," and that's it. It's like, "Thank you guys." It's like he just says, "Do you see me now?" and then that's it. Like, really? That's what we get? That's what we get. You see me now? Anyway, I'm just gonna kind of sum up a few, like, just this is such a terrible show, and there's no redeeming qualities at all. Just some questions I leave you with. Make this quick. Obi-Wan lets Vader live. Like, why? Like, why did he let him live for? What was the purpose of that? Like, what is the reason he let him live, other than just for the sake of it? You remember in A New Hope, Luke wants to go to the Academy, right? He wants to join the Empire and go to the Academy, and it's like, why do you want to go join the group of people that had some lady, running after you with a lightsaber, trying to kill you? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Then you have Reva saying, I need to capture Obi-Wan so I can draw out Vader and get my revenge. And she's literally around Vader all the time for, I'm assuming, quite a while, possibly years. It's like, why did you need that? And then Reva somehow, with no transportation, gets off the other planet that starts with a J or whatever, and lands in Tatooine before the rebels do. And she had time to change her hairstyle, and she isn't affected at all by being stabbed and everything. And she's like perfectly normal, and she got there ahead of them. Like, how did that even happen? It doesn't make any sense. And the Empire knows that Bail sent Kenobi to rescue Leia now with this message that he sends him. And that means they can arrest Bail and charge him with treason, and there's no issues. And all these Twitter people, it's Bail. You can't do anything to him because he's a senator, and there's going to be no. Like, they show you they could have done something with Bail, and they still don't. It's just senseless. And Reva wanted revenge on Anakin, and she deciphered a message, and it sort of showed Luke's identity, I guess, and then she just decides to go after him, assuming he was Anakin's son, I guess. You don't really know because the whole thing's so convoluted, and Anakin didn't even know, who Anakin didn't even know Luke existed. So it's like it's not a revenge story because he wouldn't know anyway. Vader wouldn't know anyway what this matters. It's just so sloppy. And Kenobi had a chance to kill off Vader, like I said, and he just left. And then he leaves Reva alive. It's like, why? Like, she knows who Luke is. She knows who Leia is. She's now a vigilante running around. And you're just going to leave her alive. It doesn't make any sense. And then, the Star Destroyer following the ship with the refugees and Obi-Wan on it. And they don't ever... There's no real attack. Like, there's no TIE fighters. Like, they could have taken that ship out pretty easily, I would think, and they never do. And then you got the Anakin cut helmet shot, and I said to you guys in my prediction video for the show that the whole show is predicated on getting the shot of Anakin with the cut helmet and seeing Hayden Christensen's face. And they're going to write an entire show about just getting that shot. And that's exactly what they did. And it looked cheesy. It looked B-movie. It looked bad. And like I said, my wife and I were laughing the last 15 minutes, 20 minutes of this show continuously. It's so cheesy. It's so cringy. It's so low budget. It's so bad. It wrecks continuity. It destroys so much stuff in the OT. Was totally unnecessary as a show, period. But if they were going to do it, there was something they could have done that was much better, which involved Obi-Wan actually protecting Luke, which was his charge, and he just didn't. It was all about Leia, and so much of the show centered around Reva and Leia, and not Obi-Wan and not Luke, and it just didn't make any sense, and it didn't fit, and it was dumb. This show is absolutely awful. Personally, I think it's as bad as The Last Jedi, for sure. The way it retcons the OT and stuff, it's every bit as bad as The Last Jedi. The only thing that maybe gives The Last Jedi the edge is the Luke destruction, just because Luke is beloved and everything, and I love him. But this show sucks, and I can't believe how bad it is. I can't even believe it. I can't believe how bad it is on every level. Writing, visuals, music, everything that a movie's supposed to give you. Storylines, garbage. Like, the whole thing is terrible. It's awful. I'm shocked how bad it is. I can't believe how stupid it is. And Obi-Wan and Vader have now met now. They've had multiple fights. All those lines in A New Hope, Vader with Tarkin, all those scenes, they're all stupid now. It's awful. I can't believe they allow themselves to release this garbage, but they just want your money and, views on their channel and whatever it is. So anyway, I'm just very disappointing, and I would love to hear in the comments what you guys think. But this show is just awful, just awful. Anyways, it's laughable, really. But thanks for watching. Have a good day.